Brilliant. Okay, so standing on our mats, feet together, turning toes out, followed by heels, and just looking down at your feet, making sure they're tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down, and ears over the shoulders. Placing the hands on the hips, and we're just going to rock that pelvis forward and back. So imagine you're sloshing the water out the back and out the front. So finding the halfway point between the two, nice neutral spine position. Placing the hands over the rib cage, drawing the shoulders down the back. Nice deep breath in through the nose, feel the rib cage expanding, and out through the mouth. Good. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose, drawing the shoulders down the back, and out through the mouth again. So while we continue this deep lateral breathing, we're going to imagine the belt around the waist. Jane Thomas, can you hear me all right? Okay, drawing the sides towards each other and pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And at the same time, feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up. 1, 2, 3. So tightness through the whole abdominal core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. So relaxing the arms down by your side. We'll start with those forward shoulder rolls. Nice big rolls, releasing any tightness in those shoulders. One more time forward, and then we're going to reverse up to the ears, over the mountain, and down the other side. Squeezing those shoulder blades together at the back. Again, one more time, sliding the shoulders down the back, arms hanging by your side. We're going to float the arms out to the side, locking the shoulders down the back as we reach them to the ceiling. On the out breath, push the air away as you bring the arms back down. Good. In breath, floating the arms out to the side, locking those shoulders down the back. Palms facing away from you. We're going to go right arm back, left arm forward. Circle all the way around. We're going to go 3 times with right arm back, left arm forward. If you get a bit stuck, start at the beginning again. Last time, all the way around, taking the shoulder through its full range of movement, and we're going to change hands. So left, is it right arm? I'm getting confused. Right arm forward, left arm back. Good. All the way around and back up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Last time, right arm forward, left arm back, all the way around, back up to the ceiling. We're going to drop the arms back to shoulder height, palms to the ceiling, and bend those elbows. Place the hands behind the head, interlock those fingers. We're going to shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, and then you're going to draw those elbows towards each other and squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. Unlock the fingers, palms facing away from you. We're going to bring the hands down back behind yourselves and opening up through the chest. Good. Then interlock those fingers behind you, turn them inside out, lift them away, and again, just feel that lovely opening through the chest. Don't let those shoulders roll forward. Keep them back, ear over the shoulder, and shake the arms off. And give them a shrug. Good. So into our neck stretches, we're just going to start by looking over our left shoulder as far as you can go without letting the hips follow. In breath to center, and then looking over your right shoulder. Good. Again, as far as you can go without forcing it. And back to the center again. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. Keep the shoulder blades drawn together at the back. And then slowly lift the eyes towards the ceiling. And reaching the jaw, your lower jaw up towards the ceiling, feeling the stretch down the front of the neck. And back to the center again. And then we're going to drop left ear over left shoulder. Chin to the chest, Rub the chin along the chest again, not tipping forward with the upper body, ending up with right ear over right shoulder and back up to the center. And then we're going to go right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest. Take your time, very slow, feeling the stretching, all those different muscles through the neck, ending with left ear over left shoulder and coming back up to the center again. So keeping those knees soft, we're going to go into the roll down. So drawing the belly button to spine on the in breath. On the out breath, we're going to take chin to chest and just letting those arms hang. We're going to peel that vertebra one at a time off that imaginary wall behind you. Head hanging, arms hanging, really taking time through that lumbar spine all the way down towards the toes. We're either hooking the fingers under the toes or place the palms flat on the floor. And we're going to straighten through the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through the left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through both knees, head hanging, shoulders down the back. Breathing through that stretch. And then we're softening through the knees, scoop the belly button to spine. We're rounding back up, stacking that spine, one vertebra at a time. Come up to standing and rolling those shoulders back. Excellent. So we're grabbing our weights. If you using heavier and lighter weights, you could use the heavier weights to start with. We're starting with the elbows tucked into your side and the hands palms to the ceiling, holding those weights out in front of you, keeping those elbows locked to your side. We're going to open the forearms out and squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back and closing back up again. Good. So for 12 and close. So what we're working here is those muscles between the shoulder blades, strengthening them. Those are the muscles that keep our shoulders back. Good. For 8 and close. So really squeeze those elbows into your side for 7 and close. Good. For 6 and close. 5 and close. Good. For 4 and close. Good. 3 more. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. For 2 and close. Last one now. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Close it back up. We're going to drop the forearms down, keeping those elbows squeezed in into the bicep curl for 15 and lower. 14 and 13 for 12 and lower. Good. 11 and lower. For 10 and 9. Again, keeping those knees soft, neutral spine position. Make sure we're working our arms and not pulling on our backs. For 7 and lower. 6 and lower. Good. For 5 and 4. Good. For 3 and 2. Last one now. Good. Turn the palms towards the front of your thighs. Straight arm raise. Bring the arms out in front and lower. Good. Make sure you're keeping that neutral spine and lower. Good. Out breath. Lock the shoulders down your back. Good. And lower. On the next one, if you've got very light weights, we're going to pulse it. If you haven't got light weights, keep going up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. On the out breath, straight out and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. 3 more sets of the pulsing. Good. Straight out and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. On the out breath, straight out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. 2 more sets. Straight out. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Last one now. Straight out. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. Give those arms a shrug off. Keeping the palms towards the front of the thighs, locking the shoulders down. We're going into the upright row. So we bring the weights to the front of the shoulders, lift the elbows up and push away. Good. Front of shoulders, lock those shoulders down and push. Good. For 13 and push. Good. 12. So trying to get the elbows up but the shoulders down. 11 and push away. Good. For 10 and down. 9 and down. 8, push the air away. 7 and down. Good. For 6 and down. 5. Good. 4 more. Lift those elbows, shoulder down. For 3 and away. 2 more and away. Last one and push away. Good. And just shrug those shoulders off. So into the tricep kick back. We're going to keep the ears over the shoulders, so don't bring the heads forward. Bend the knee, elbows behind the body, weights to the front of the shoulder, and we're going to reach back and up to the ceiling. Good. And back and up. Good. If your neck is uncomfortable, just take the chin to the chest. We're going to do 2 more single ones, and then again, if you've got lighter weight, we're going to start to pulse. So on the next one, we take the weights back and up and pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Good. On the out breath, take them back and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Good. 2 more sets. Back and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. You should feel it down the back of your arms. If not, reach back more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Good. We're going to shake those arms off. We're going to do one more, the glass of water. So holding the hands out in front of you. Imagine you're holding the glass of water. We're going to lift the elbows up and pour the water down the sink and close. Good. For 14, remember, if you want to work harder, have the elbows in front to start. Good. For 12 and center. 11 and center. 10 and 9. Good. Again, lift the elbows up, draw the shoulders down. For 7 and 6. Good. For 5 and 4. For 3 and 2. Good. Last one now. Excellent. And relax those arms down. We can put the weights down. Give those arms a nice circle. Forward and back. Brilliant. And just shaking them off. And when you're ready now, we're going to come down. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera. We're going to come to the ends of our mat. Mat's rolling away in front of us. We can keep the legs straight this time if you want to, otherwise just have those knees bent into the roll down. So dropping the chin to the chest, scooping the belly button to spine, arms hanging, head hanging. As we slowly weight down to the floor, we're just going to hold it here, drawing the shoulders down the back, head hanging down, breathing through that stretch. And then we're going to soften through the knees, walk the hands forward, and we're coming down onto all fours, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and scooping the belly button to spine. So on the in-breath, we're going to into the cat, stretch round thoracic back up towards the ceiling, draw the shoulders away from the spine. On the out breath, we're going to lengthen tail and crown. Again, keep that belly button scooped as we feed on into that back extension, eyes to the ceiling. One more time, in breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, lengthen tail and crown, feeding on into that back extension, eyes to the ceiling. Last time. Now we're just going to flex that back off, round thoracic back up to the ceiling, and coming back to your neutral spine position. We're going to slide that left leg back, tuck the toe underneath you. You can come onto your forearms. And we're going to push back through the hands, taking the heel to the floor. Don't let that left hip hitch up. Keep the left hip down towards the floor. And we're holding for 10, 9, 8. Keep the pressure on. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sliding that left knee back in. Good. We're sliding the right leg back. Drop the right hip down. Tuck the toe underneath you, and we're pushing back through the hands for 10, 9, 8, 7. Again, keep the pressure on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sliding that right knee back in. Good. Into the hip drops. So dropping both hips to the right. Look over the left shoulder at your feet. In breath to center, and then we're taking both hips over to the left. Look over the right shoulder at your feet. Good. And center back up. We're going to do one more time to each side. See if you can drop those hips a little lower. And center. Good. Over to the left. Hips to the left. Look over the right shoulder. Come back up to the center, or just sit back on your heels, head down to the mat. Push the weight through the hands, so you're trying to weight yourself down into your heels. Drop the head down to the floor. And then imagine the ball is inflating underneath you, and we're rounding back up, stacking that spine, and we're going to come to sitting on the ball. You want the ball at the end of the mat, so you've got the mat rolling away in front of you. Good. The feet are a bit wider than hip width apart, just to offer us a little bit more stability. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Good. So really lifting up through the waist there, not crunching down. So we're going to take the right hand down the right side of the ball and left arm over the top into the side bend. Don't let the ball roll away from you. In breath to center, and we're changing arms. So right arm up, and then reach the left hand down. At the same time, bringing that right arm over the top. Good. One more time to each side, but this time, as you bring the left arm over, we're going to slide the ball over to that left side. So you're slightly increasing the stretch. Good. In breath to center. And then as you bring the right arm over, we're going to roll that ball slightly to the right side. Good. And center back up. We're going to take both arms up to the ceiling. Turning to the left, we're going to reach the left arm behind you onto the ball. Right hand comes to the outside of the leg. And then we're just going to increase the stretch, looking back at the wall behind you. Keep the crown of the head tall though, don't collapse that waist. Both arms back up to the ceiling, and we're going to the opposite direction. So right arm comes behind, left hand onto the outside of the thigh. Lift the crown of the head to the ceiling and then rotate. Good. So we shouldn't be twisting. The knees stay centered. Good. Sorry, the spine is twisting, but the hips aren't moving away. They're just centered. It's just the upper body. Good. Both arms up to the ceiling and then relax them down by your side. So we're now going to walk forward. So we come down to lying on the ball. So take your time. C-curve that lumbar spine. As we come down, we want to make sure our head is on the ball. You don't want your heads hanging back over the ball. The knees are, the ankles are underneath the knees, and you're lifting up, so you're not collapsing those hips. Keep those glutes squeezed and those hips lifted. So we're going to float the right and left arm up towards the ceiling, shoulders down the back. On the in-breath, we're going to float the arms to the side. Drop the back of the hands down towards the floor. Make sure the arms aren't up above your head. You want them at shoulder height, and really feel that lovely opening through your chest. Just think about the glutes. It should be nicely engaged and lifting you up, and float the arms back up to the ceiling again. So sorry, if you're not using ball, obviously just on the floor. In breath, we're floating the arms out to the side, back of the hands down towards the floor. Good. And then floating the arms back up to the ceiling again. Palms facing away from you. We're going to go right arm up above the head, left hand down. Circle all the way around. Obviously, if you're just on the floor, just doing the windmill arms, and back up to the ceiling again. And we're changing direction now. So left arm up, right arm down. Circle all the way around and back up to the ceiling. We're going to do double arms now. If it feels too much, go back to singles. We're going both arms up above the head, circle round nice and slow. Feel the full range of movement through the shoulder joint, and back up to the ceiling again. We're reversing, so we're coming down to the feet. Squeeze those glutes, lift those hips all the way round. Back up to the ceiling again. We're going to bring the hands onto the front of the thigh. Come up from the breastbone so the head is lifted up away from the ball. And we're going to walk back on the ball until the ball sits into that lumbar spine. Okay, just to let you know, we're going to do some curl ups. If you want to work harder, the higher you are on the ball, the harder you're going to work. So that's the option. Catherine, you all right to just do the curl up from the floor? Place the hands behind your head. On the in-breath, sorry, I'm just going to come forward slightly because I'm going to go out the camera. On the in-breath, we're going to drop the head back, but keep the chin towards the chest. Engage the belly button to spine as we curl up to sitting. Good. In-breath to lower. Out breath, squeezing that belly button to spine. Good, we're going for 10. In breath to lower, coming up for 3. In breath to lower. Gauge the core for 4. Good, in breath to lower. We're coming up on the out breath for 5. In breath to lower. We're coming up for 6. Good. 4 more. In breath to lower. We're coming up for 7. 3 more. And we're coming up for 8. Good. 2 more. You can do it. Keep that rib cage down as you lie back. We're coming up for 9. Last one now. In breath to lower. We're curling up for 10. And you can just stretch the legs back. So you're straightening through the legs and just hinge forward and just stretch out through the lower back. So you're just straightening through the legs, pushing the ball back, hinging over the hips. And if you suffer generally with tightness through the hips and hamstrings, it should be a little easier to do it on the ball here. Good. And then we're going to bend the knees. We're going to slowly slide off the ball and come down to sitting with the legs out in a V. We can just move the ball to the side for the minute. Crown of the head lifted up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you're a bit scrunched down, you can't get straight through that lower back, just pop yourselves up onto a cushion or a block if you have one. Feet in flexion, and we're taking both arms out to the side. So we're going to turn to the left hand, backhand, palm is down. The right hand comes to the outside of that left foot, and we're hinging forward and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Come back up and center back up again. Good. So we're turning to the right, backhand down. Left hand comes to the outside of that left foot, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Back up and center. We're going to do it one more time to each side. This time the head is going to follow that back hand. So look at your back hand, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Come back up and center. Good. Turning to the right, looking at the back hand, hinge forward, and we're sawing 3, 2, 1, and coming back up and center and relaxing those arms down. Brilliant. So placing the hands in front of you on the floor, we're going to walk those hands forward. Again, we're looking for length through the back here, so not rounding down, long and hinging. And then we're going to take the right hand over the right foot, left arm comes over the top, and we're going to look up at the ceiling. Good. And then chest to the floor. We're going to walk the hands across the front, each time trying to hinge a little lower. Left hand over left foot. Right arm goes over the top, and we turn to face the ceiling. Good. One more time to each side. Walk the hands. Try and drop a little bit lower now to the floor. Right hand goes over the right foot, left arm over the top and looking at the ceiling. Lovely opening stretch here. One more time. Walk across the front, seeing if you can drop a little lower to the floor. Look, right arm coming over the top, turn to the ceiling. And then we're going to walk the hands back to the center again. Scoop the belly button to spine, and we're rounding back up and stacking that spine. Excellent. So you want the balls handy. In fact, let's do a roll down holding the balls because that helps to keep them handy. So we'll do it with straight leg. We'll just start actually with the balls on the knees. The feet are just relaxed. We're going to roll the ball forward over the toes. Drop the head down between the arms. Use the ball to push those toes down so you get a lovely stretch through the front of the shins. drop the head between the arms. We're going to scoop the ball up, come up to sitting, and then drawing the belly button to spine. We're C-curving the back. Keep the elbows soft so there's no tension through the arms. We're coming down, lumbar, thoracic. Take the head down, and we're going to reach the ball over the top. Good. Keep hold of the ball. Feet are in flexion. And we're going to lengthen that right leg away from you. At the same time, we're going to reach that right arm back. And relax. Good. Reaching the left leg away from you. Reach that left arm back. And relax. We're going to roll the ball round now. Place it underneath the calves. If you haven't got a ball, just bend those knees. Good. We're going to have the knees and feet towards each other, arms out to the side, palms to the ceiling. Just have a little play with that neutral spine. So on the in-breath, we're going to roll the pelvis forward, arching through the lumbar spine. And at the same time, we're going to take the chin up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, we're going to flatten through the lumbar spine and lengthening through the back of the neck. So lumbar spine here is imprinted in the mat, nice and long through the back of the neck. Arms are out to the side, palms to the ceiling. We're going to take both knees over to the right. Now, don't let it drop too low. Head goes to the left. You want to feel like you're in control of that ball. And not just letting that ball take over. Good, but at the same time getting a lovely stretch and rotational stretch. Good. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as you center back up again. And then we're going to take both legs over to the left. Head goes to the right. Again, engage those core muscles. Draw the belly button to the spine. And on the out breath, we're centering back up again. Good. One more time to each side. On the out breath, take the knees to the right. Head goes to the left. Good. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. And last time, now we're going to take both knees over to the left. The head goes to the right. And we're centering back up. So keeping those knees bent, we're going to relax the arms down by the side and we're going to come up into the shoulder bridge position. So for the first one, the legs are going to want to straighten, and I really want you to work at keeping those knees bent. So dig your heels into the ball. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to curl the pelvis up off the mat, peeling the vertebra one at a time. Keep those knees bent. So you're lifting those hips up, but keeping the rib cage down. Hold for an in-breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to come back down one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until the end. Good. One more time. This time now, as you come up, you can let those knees slowly lengthen away from you, or the legs lengthen away from you. So your hips are lifted, keeping that rib cage down. Check there's no tension in the neck and shoulders, and we're coming back down one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up to the end. Good. One more time. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, again, we're allowing those legs to lengthen away this time, trying to keep those hips stable, not letting them drop one side or the other. And you'll feel, because the ball will roll away from you if you're not level with those hips. And we're going to work with the glute squeezers here. So we're going to drop the hips 2 centimeters and squeeze those glutes back up again. Good. So drop for 2 and squeeze to lift back up. Remember, we're just working with the hips here. The rib cage stays down. For 8, and lift. 7, and lift. Good. For 6, and lift. If you want to work harder, bend those knees. For 4, and lift. 3, and lift. Good. 2 more. Drop and lift. Last one. Lift back up, and we're coming back down. 1 vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up to the end. We're going to place the feet on the front of the ball so the knees come over the chest. Otherwise, just hug the knees to your chest, and we're just going to rock from side to side and loosening off that back. Good. Okay. So we have some options here. We're going to do the single leg stretch. I'll show you the version first, and then I'll give you the variations to do. So legs are in tabletop. We're going to come up from the breastbone. We're going to lengthen one leg away, tap the knee of the other one. Okay, so that's sort of the harder one. Obviously, you can change with the position of the leg. So the lower the lengthening leg, the harder it is to keep the back down. You can here use your foam roller. If you know your back pops up, place the foam roller underneath the glutes, legs in tabletop. If you're doing it this way, I suggest that you keep the head down, okay, and you're lengthening the leg away. So have a go, see which one you prefer. We are going to come into the crisscross. So if you're using the roller, we will try to come up from the breastbone. So do have a little play if you're using the roller. Just see if you can come up from the breastbone with it. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to float right, imprint that lumbar spine and left foot up into tabletop here. Come up from the breastbone and you're looking through the knees. Good. So we're going to lengthen the right leg away and tap the left knee, both sides, and change. Now we don't want to do this too fast, so work with me. We're changing. Good. And change. If your neck starts to hurt, just take your head back down and change. Good. We're going to do 2 more to each side. So 4 and 3 for 2 and 1. Take the head back down and hug the knees. We're going to go into the crisscross. So while you're loosening off, just have a look at the screen. We're going to come up from the breastbone away. Again, lengthen the right leg away, and we're going to take the right rib to the left hip. So it's not elbow to knee, but rib to hip, center, and then rib to hip on the opposite side. If your head is not comfortable or your neck is not comfortable, do the legs, but just roll onto your left elbow, okay? So that if the neck is an issue and you can't bring the head up. Okay, so when you're ready, locking that back down, drawing the belly button spine, we're coming up from the breastbone, looking through your knees. We're lengthening the right leg away, take the rib to hip and center, really engaging the core. So belly button to spine and center. We're changing and center. So really try and get that left rib to touch the right hip and center. Good. 4 more to each side. So for 4 and 4 for 3 and 3. Good. For 2 and 2. Last ones. You can do it. Right rib to left hip, center, left rib to right hip. Good. Take the head back down. Hug those knees in. Rock from side to side. Just loosening off the back. And then we're going to take the knees shoulder width apart. And again, just rocking, giving yourself some nice breather there. So nice deep breath in and out. And then we're taking both feet back down to the mat. Knees are bent, hip width apart, arms relaxed and down by your side. So from there now, we're going to lengthen the left leg away from you. At the same time, we're going to bring the right arm over the head, pointing through the toe. We're going to take that left leg up to the ceiling, come up from the breastbone and take hold of the calf. Draw the leg towards your towards your nose, not your left nose. And then keep hold of the leg. We're going to lower the head back down to the mat and increase that stretch on the leg. And we're pointing and flexing through the foot. So point and flex. Good. 2 more times. Point and flex. Last one. Point and flex. Good. We're lowering the leg down. Bring the right arm over the head and sliding that leg back in. Good. So sliding the right leg away, left arm comes up above the head, pointing through the toe. We're taking the leg up towards the ceiling. Come up from the breastbone, chin to chest. Take hold of that calf. Draw the calf toward your nose. Keep the shoulders down the back, elbows bent. Keep hold of the leg. Take the head back down to the mat. So we're increasing that stretch on the hamstring and we're pointing and flexing. Good. Point and flex. Good. Last time. Point and flex. We're lowering that right leg. Take the left arm over the head and sliding back to the center again. Good. So just closing the knees and feet, arms to the side, palms to the ceiling. We're going to take both knees down to the right again. Keep the feet stacked. Head goes to the left. And then we're going to lengthen that left leg over the right knee. Take the toe towards the floor. Good. So if you need to roll over towards that right side a bit more, do so. So we're lengthening the leg away, taking the heel to the floor. Good. And then we're going to bend the knee, stack the knees and ankles, take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Good. On the out breath, we're taking both knees over to the left. Keep the feet stacked. Head goes to the right. And then when you're ready, we're going to lengthen the right leg over the left knee, toe towards the floor. Good. If you want to increase the stretch, slide that right toe up towards your left hand. Nice deep breath through there. Good. And then we're stacking the knees and ankles. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. So place the right ankle onto the left knee. Draw that left knee up towards your chest. Now, if you struggle with lifting the left leg up, you can, of course, use your ball here. So you could place the ball underneath that left leg. Draw that left leg up, pushing that right knee away from you. So you're feeling that stretch through the right side. We're going to roll ever so slightly to the left side to increase that stretch a little bit. Good. So breathing. So Nini, do you want to use your ball there? Place the ball underneath that right leg. That's it. So just breathing through the stretch. Good. Yeah. Ball under the right leg. Dig the heel into the ball. So you bring that ball as close towards your glutes as possible. Perfect. Good. Okay. That's it. So just breathing through the stretch. So we're going to center back up. We're changing legs now. So left ankle onto right knee. Unless you've done that one, then you just move on to the other side. So just changing legs there. Draw that knee up towards your chest. Feel that lovely stretch on the left side or right side, depending which side you're doing. And then we're going to roll onto the right side, slightly increasing that stretch there. Good. Breathing through that. Good. Nice deep breath in and out. Good. So we're going to take the feet back down to the floor. Very slowly, we're going to roll onto our sides and come up to being on our knees and grabbing our balls and place them in front of you. Good. Okay. So we're coming up to lying over the ball with our legs straight out behind, and the hands are actually sitting on the front of the ball. So maybe make a little diamond shape with the hands, having them over the ball. We can have the knees slightly bent. We don't want them on the floor, but you can bend them slightly so you feel like you can control yourself. And feet are sort of towards the edges of the mat, so you've got a nice stable base there. Brilliant. So Catherine, if you come to lying on your front, we're going to start with W arms, but the first one we're going to do, so just take your nose towards your hands, keep the hands on the ball or the floor. You're going to lengthen through the back of the neck, come up from the chest, keeping the hands on the floor into back extension. Remember here, you want to lift the fronts of the hips away from the ball, okay, so that you're keeping a bit of a neutral spine position. You're not pinching the lower back. Draw the shoulders down the back, and we're lowering back down again. We're going to do that one more time. On the out breath, keep the hands on the ball. Draw the shoulders down the back as you come up. Eyes are just in front of you, so you don't want to be pulling that head back. Lift the front of the hips up and lower back down. This next one now, we're going to lift the hands up. So we're going to bring the hands either side of the shoulders. Draw those shoulder blades together. Take the front of the hips up away from the ball and lower back down. Good. On the out breath, we're coming up from the breastbone. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back and lower back down. This next one now, we're going to move on into the breaststroke. So we're coming up from the breastbone, squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to reach the hands forward. Don't lose your neutral spine. Palms out, pull through the water, all the way back, interlock the hands, turn them inside out, and lifting, drawing the belly button to spine. Keep the eyes, if I say, to the end of the mat. It slightly gives you a direction. Back to W and lower back down. Good. One more time. On the out breath, we're lifting. Good. Eyes to the end of the mat, so you're not pulling your head up. Good. Hands forward, palms out. Pull through the water. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Interlock the hands. Turn them inside out. Lifting up towards the ceiling. Back to W and lower. Give the ball a hug. Catherine, if you're okay for a second, just to kind of maybe just pop yourselves into neutral spine there to just stretch off that back. Good. Okay. So we're going to come up over the ball. So the hands are on the floor now. So you're going to have the ball underneath the lower abdominals. If you're on the floor, stay there, Catherine. We're going to work with the leg lift. So the same as we did last week. So from here, we're going to point that left toe, reach it back to touch the wall behind you. Bend the knee, flex the foot, Lift the foot up to the ceiling, but without hitching that left hip. Keep the left hip down. Point through the toe, lengthen the leg away, keeping it lifted, and then lower that left leg back down. Good. Tuck the toe underneath you. So pointing through the right toe, reach the right leg back to hip up to hip height, bend the knee, flex the foot, take the foot up to the ceiling, lengthen the leg away, keeping the leg lifted away from the ball, and lower back down. Good. Left toe pointing, reach it back and up, bend the knee, flex the foot, take the foot to the ceiling so you can feel those glutes engaging, lengthen the leg away, keeping that glute engaged, and lower back down. Good. Right toe pointing, lift and reaching back, bend the knee, flex the foot, take it up to the ceiling, lengthen away, and lower back down. We're going to walk a little bit more, slightly, like about 2 centimeters over the ball, because we're going to try and do double legs now. So we're taking both legs back and up, bend the knees, flex the feet, lift the legs up, engage the glutes. Keep your neutral spine as we lengthen both legs away and lower back down. Excellent. 2 more times. So lift both legs up, bend the knee, flex the feet, take the feet to the ceiling, neutral spine, think where your spine is, lengthen both legs away, keeping them lifted, and lower back down. Good. Last one now, both legs up, bend the knees, flex the feet, lift, lengthen, and lower back down. We're going to give the ball a hug. Catherine, come back into child pose. So just give the ball a hug. We're just loosening, flexing off through that back. So from there, Catherine, we're going to come into push-ups. So if you want to do it on all fours, I'm just showing Catherine because she hasn't got her board today. And you're going to take the nose to the floor. If we're using the ball, we're going to come all the way to the back of the mat because we're going to come onto the ball and have the ball roughly between the lower abdominals and your knees. Now see how you feel. If your wrists are weaker, bring the ball higher up underneath the body. If you want to work harder, take the ball down towards your feet a bit more. Keep that neutral spine position, so don't lose the neutral spine. And we're going to take the nose down towards the floor and push back up. We're going for 8. So for 7 and up. Good. For 6 and up. For 5 and up. Good. For 4, try and keep working hard if you can. Try not to dip between the shoulder blades. Stay nice and flat. I think we've got 3 more. I've lost count. 2 more. And last one. Push back up. We're going to come back off the ball into a child pose. So have the ball in front of you. Sit on your heels. The knees are out towards the edges of the mat. We're going to walk the ball forward and drop down between the arms. If you haven't got the ball, obviously just keep the hands on the floor. We're going to roll the ball round to the left. Reach the right arm away from you as you try and keep that right seat bone down towards your heels. Good. If it's too much through the shoulders, bring the hands down to the sides of the ball. It's up to you. We're going to walk the ball back to the center, bringing it round to the right. Reach that left arm away from you. Good. Breathing through the stretch. Back to the center again. Drop the head to the floor. Again, if it's too much through the shoulders, bring the hands to the sides of the ball. And then we're rounding back up, stacking that spine. Good. And we're just going to finish with the psoas stretch. So we can actually use the ball for this one if you want. So we're going to bring the left foot to the inside of the ball, outside, sorry. So good. So Catherine, if you're happy to do the one with, and I don't know if you wanted to use a cushion or a block underneath your knee, but just having that knee towards the front of the mat. So we're going to give the ball a hug. We're going to tuck the toe underneath you and straighten through the right leg. So Catherine, if you have your hands either side, yeah, good, of your feet. Good. And then if you want to, we can lift up through the front of the chest. Good. Just reaching, driving that right hip down towards the floor. We're going to lower the knee back down. We'll just leave, or you can actually use the ball if you want to. We're going to straighten through that front leg. Have your hands on the ball. Bring the ball in front of the left toe and drop down. But if that feels too unstable for you, then just take your hands either side of that left foot. Good. Okay, so the choice is yours. Either use the ball, but as long as you're feeling a stretch up that hamstring, that's all I'm worried about. Good. So we're going to change legs now. So bring that left knee back underneath you. Place the ball on the inside of the right leg. Give that ball a hug. Slide the left leg back. We're going to tuck that left toe underneath you. We're straightening through the back leg, driving the heel down towards the floor. And then if you want to, you can lift up through the chest, driving that left hip down towards the mat. Good, just lovely stretching off. I can see this is really working with everyone because you're all looking a lot looser. Brilliant. We're going to lower the left knee to the floor, top of the foot on the floor. We're straightening through the right leg, and again, either using the ball or have your hands either side of the feet. You want to imagine you're trying to sit back onto your heels. That just increases that stretch a little bit through that right leg. Good. So coming back to kneeling, we can just push the balls to the side for a second. Onto all fours. Tuck your toes underneath you. We're pushing up to down dog, feet hip width apart, heels to the floor. Take the head through to the knees. Breathing through that stretch. Soften through the knees. Walk the hands back towards your feet. And then we're scooping belly button to spine. We're slowly rounding back up, stacking that spine. Roll the shoulders back. Excellent job, everyone. Well, what a way to start a Monday morning. Good job. If you want to say anything, obviously just unmute. But otherwise, well done, everyone. I'll send you the recording, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Dix, did you watch the tennis?
No.
You should see the females